Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a reading out of my book, Intuitive Depression Living in Alignment. And the section we'll be reading out of is called Following Your Intuitive Hits. Let's go. Follow your intuitive hits, those inner urges and messages that call out to you. They can include any number of things like volunteering, donating to a charity that has been on your mind, spending time in nature, starting or changing a wellness or dietary routine, or traveling to a destination that you have been feeling drawn to visit. When we listen to our inner urges, we might just be surprised by what we find. Perhaps by following our inner calling to do a certain thing, we nourish our energy fields, find a joyful experience, meet a new acquaintance, or we obtain a new idea or piece of information that we were needing. Next time you notice a reoccurring inclination to do something, start a list and keep track of the things that you repeatedly find yourself interested in or called to do. You may be surprised by how often some things come into your awareness and call out for your attention. Then take action to see those inner urges through. Our interests always call out to us for a reason. So, I actually remember when I got the download for this, there was a certain period of time, I would say multiple periods of time, where this information just kept hitting me like a wave. And I just remember one day I was driving around and the thoughts just kept loudly kind of going off in my head. Like, you have these same inner urges, these same intuitions of things you can do, like steps I could take in my life. And they were always kind of there in the background of the mind. So a lot of times we have guidance coming through, but we tend to kind of brush it off, ignore it, put it on the back burner. And a lot of times it shows up as these same thoughts, these same messages, these inner urges, things that we would like to do, that we feel like we should do, that we're inclined to do or interested in. But for whatever reason, the logical mind is like, oh, I'm too busy. I'll get to that later. I don't have time for it right now. It doesn't make sense, etc. Our mind makes up a lot of reasons why our intuition doesn't make sense, or why we don't need to follow it, or it's not a good time to follow it now, or whatever the case may be. However, intuition is always speaking to us. And I don't know about you, but there have been so many times in my life where I had these messages coming through and I just kept putting them on the back burner. And I'm not talking about like messages like, somebody's speaking to you. I'm talking about more vague, just like inner knowings, like, I really feel like I should do that thing. Maybe it's joining some sort of program, class, signing up for something, going to some sort of gathering, starting a specific project. Maybe it's journaling every day. Maybe it's writing. Maybe it's starting a gratitude list. Like, the options are endless. I'm just throwing out some examples here. The thing is, these messages are always there, but a lot of times we just aren't listening and we feel like we're not getting guidance when in fact we are. We just haven't acted on it. We haven't prioritized it as being something of high importance. It's something that we're like, okay, maybe I'll get around to that, but not yet, not right now. The thing is, when that guidance comes through, it is for us to act on it. So one thing I suggest doing is starting a list when stuff comes up, when you keep getting these inner urges to do something, or these reoccurring thoughts that, I should probably do that. That would be fun. I'd really like to try that. But, like, there's always that but, right? Because if we write it down, we may realize that, wow, I've been having the same message for the last 6 months, or the last 4 months, or the last 3 weeks, or whatever it is. Like it keeps coming back to us, but a lot of times it just doesn't feel super significant or super important because maybe we don't understand how it can connect the dots in our lives. Maybe it seems a little frivolous or like, oh, if I had more free time, I would do that. But a lot of times, what is happening is we're being guided on a path and we have to take this first step, whatever it is, doing that thing, buying that camera, start journaling, start writing something, start taking guitar lessons, piano lessons, violin, whatever it is, singing lessons, or start researching something that we're interested in, or maybe we go take that trip. Like the things are endless, the way the guidance comes in, but we have to honor what is showing up for us. And we do not know how it is going to expand and unfold in our lives, and we don't need to. Like, we don't have to know everything. A lot of times we feel like we do need to know everything or we want to know everything. It's like, it's just a habit of how our minds are created. They always want to know what's going to happen, predict the future, know the possibilities. And our intuition comes up and it just says, hey, I'm here. Wouldn't this feel good? Doesn't this sound good? I think you should do this. It may be that we go somewhere or we join some group or class or program and we meet a new friend or we learn a new skill or a new perspective that literally sticks with us for the rest of our life. I remember, this doesn't have anything to do with intuition, but I was on an airplane one time and I met this man. We were just like in a row of two, and we were on a long flight, and he was very bold, in my opinion, back then. And he kept asking the flight attendants for things. Like he asked for an extra meal and he asked for an extra glass of wine because there was like a complimentary glass of wine and a complimentary meal. And I just remember like looking at him and thinking like, oh my gosh, like, are you allowed to do that? But he taught me something. All somebody can really say to you at that point is no, or you don't have enough. And even then the flight attendant kind of just like looked at him and was like, well, if I have enough or something. Like they just kind of said it like that. And then lo and behold, later on, they came back in a free meal. Do you want anything else? The guy got his 2 glasses of wine. I was just sitting over there like, you can do this? And that totally reshaped my thinking and beliefs. And now I go for those things and I ask for those things because I saw somebody else do it and it showed me, wow, that is possible. So this is just like a scenario of just how things can surprise us and kind of come out of nowhere. But going back to the point of following our intuitive hits is we don't know how showing up somewhere is going to change us. Just from my personal perspective, I also think that even being in the presence of certain people changes and alters your energy field. So maybe you show up to some sort of like class and the person you're sitting next to is having some profound impact on your energy field in some way. We don't know why we're being called to do these things. For me, one thing that's coming up right now is I used to take piano lessons when I was a kid, and it had been on my mind for a couple years as an adult that I wanted to retake lessons again. And I finally did it, and I took lessons for about 2 years. Right now, I just practice on my own. I'm not taking lessons anymore. I took lessons for the period of time that felt right, and then at a certain point, I felt like I didn't need to take them anymore. So that was just me following my intuition to start something and following my intuition to stop something. Now, I am sure I don't know all the benefits of it, but just off of the top of my head, I think that music is a great way to express ourselves. I think, well, at that time, I was going through depression and I was definitely not expressing myself as fully as I could have been. So I think music, playing the piano really helped me to be able to express myself, helped me convey emotions. I also noticed that when I would hit certain notes, I would feel a resonating feeling and emotion in my body. It felt like energy was moving and clearing when I play the piano, when I still play the piano. I feel like there is energy that is in flow, that is in motion, that it is bringing out or up emotions that my body is still holding on to so that they can be expressed. There's also a personal connection I have between my hands and my energy. So, for instance, I really enjoy the way it feels for my fingers to move at a very fast pace across the keyboard. It just feels good. I can't really explain it other than I really like that sensation. It feels like there's energy moving when I don't have to think and I can just allow my fingers to like do their thing. And it's very similar with the piano. When I'm playing piano, it's like the motion of my fingers is having some effect that I don't know and I don't need to know on the rest of my body, my energetic field. Like something is happening that feels really good and really nice and right. So, getting back to my story, the piano lessons had been on my mind for a couple years before I actually took action and started playing. And then, of course, really enjoyed it. I'm really happy now that I was able to improve my skills even more. Another thing is that I know that I can just go over to my piano and I can start playing and express myself at any point in time. And it's just another way to personally express myself and to allow energy to move. So, a lot of these things in life are not tangible. And that's what I love about intuition. And that's what's so great about it. Our internal guidance system, it is for sure guiding us, it's steering the ship. There's always information there, things we can follow that lead us to a positive outcome, that lead us to something that we needed, that lead us to truth and alignment, because it's this authentic inner urge that is coming out. That is the guidance. It is this authenticity that's saying, hey, do this thing, do that thing, go here, go there. And it's helping us connect the dots. It's up to us to follow that guidance and to take action, to act on the intuition that is showing up for us. So that is all for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. I hope that you learned something valuable. And if you did, please consider liking and subscribing. I will see you in the next video.